Hello, everyone. Happy spring. Happy belated Easter. We just finished Easter weekend. It is Tuesday, April the 3rd here in 2018, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys. If you don't currently know me, my name is Tamron. I consider myself an inspirational storytelling business mentor, the owner of Tamron's Place, a retreat for spiritual growth. So here I am, and I'm sharing some personal stuff with you guys again because it's been an interesting Easter for me, and I've got lots to share with you guys on this video today. Some really raw personal stories and something super inspiring for all of you. So the video today is a question. And I chose this question today because of some of the conversations that I've been having with entrepreneurs lately. And what they really don't recognize is that what is showing up in your business is always the same as what is in your personal life. We're not two different people, okay? So today we're getting advice from Spirit on how to transform a wound into a scar. Pardon me. And I'm talking about emotional wounds. I'm talking about unresolved issues that are in your life, because when we work with the emotional body, it affects you everywhere. Okay. And it's still my favorite topic. Again, these are spiritual things that we need to recognize within ourselves so that we show up the same in our personal life and in our business. Okay. So what I mean by a wound is, what is it that's nagging you? Like, what is it that you need to resolve within yourself? Or what is something that maybe has been recurring for you right now? Because we're still in this Mercury retrograde, right? And Mercury retrograde is something that's going to trigger you. It's going to, make the mud, the lotus, the lotus comes from the mud puddle. So what is it that you just keep thinking about or keep showing up for you in your business? And it's probably showing up in your personal life too. And this is one of the main topics that I talk about on all of my speaking platforms now. So stay tuned to the very end. There's going to be an opportunity for you to find out where I'm going to be speaking, and maybe in your area, or to join a webinar. But when you understand this, is that when you address those issues on an emotional level, it clears everything. So what that means is your business becomes better, your relationships become better. But it is what you have to work on within yourself, and it's not about anybody else but you. You constantly co-create what is happening in your life all the time. People talk about manifesting. Well, manifesting isn't just about the good stuff. It's about all the stuff. So whatever is showing up in your life and you need to let go of that, I want you to listen up to this reading today, because we've got two cards from Colette Baron-Reid's deck. All right. This is the deck I'm using here in 2018. And I'm going to share a true story. And for all you non-believers out there, you are going to love this story. Okay. So when we have a wound, I've asked Spirit, what is something that we can do to look at ourselves and to really like embrace, because it's not necessarily negative. You have to understand that as human beings, we're constantly developing and constantly growing. So when something is coming up in your life, I want you to look at it as a way that you can empower yourself and learn some of these spiritual tools, so that as you develop and grow, every year of your life, every season of your life, you can use some of the tools and the techniques that I constantly talk about, because it never varies. There's only so many things that I currently use, and that's why I love to share with you guys here in these free videos, okay? So I'm going to share the personal story first, then we're going to do the reading, because I want you guys to understand how powerful emotional work is. Back in 2002, I was on a family vacation. I was married at the time with my two kids and my husband, and we decided to go out to BC. I'd never been there. I knew I wanted to go. I was always actually afraid to go to BC because I love mountains. And I thought, if I ever see those huge, massive mountains, I'll probably never want to leave. And that's exactly what happened. I actually cried the day we left. And it was just like, those mountains are magical. There's just something so spiritual about being in a mountain. And it was wintertime. It was spring break. So we had actually gone out and surprised some family members who had a condo out there and were staying out there for the winter. We didn't tell them we were coming. We kind of showed up and knocked on their door, and it was a beautiful time of year to be out there in spring, and our kids are learning how to ski on a big mountain for once, and there was so much to do, and it was actually exhausting. So my husband was not a skier, but that was okay. He was doing all the behind the scenes stuff and doing some shopping and that kind of stuff. So one day when I was out with the kids and I was skiing and, booting around with my cousins, my kids were taking lessons. My husband went into the little nearby town, and I'm talking like a little town. And he found this little new age shop. And I was just learning about spiritual tools and, energy work and meditation and that kind of stuff. So I was like a sponge, and anywhere new or somewhere I could go, I was hopping into these stores and learning. And remember, back then, there wasn't a lot of internet at the time. So he saw this little new age store and he thought, geez, I bet I can buy her something in there. He was a big gift giver. He was someone who, his love language was definitely gift giving. So he went in there and he told the woman that owned the shop, this is what my wife is into. I don't know what to buy her. What would you recommend? So she gave him a few ideas, and of course he grabbed everything. But the one thing she looked at him and said, she said, I don't know, I just have this intuitive hit that I think your wife would love this, healing runes. All right. So it's a little book, and what it is they're ancient healing runes that are symbols, and each symbol represents a spiritual message and a story. And so what you do is you go into the bag and you draw one of these out, and you see this rune and you see the message on the rune, and then you read the message. I thought these were so cool. These were spiritual messages. So every day I was opening one of these, opening the bag and getting a message for myself. And the messages in this book are so beautifully written, so profound. And so of course, because I'm learning and I'm an ongoing student in life, I had to share this, right? And I was currently volunteering at my son's school because it was just who I was as a mom. I volunteered in my community from the time they were little right up until they got into middle school. At high school, they were like, no, Mom, we don't want you around. But anyways, I was around doing a lot of work. So I got to know the staff members at the public school where my kids were. And I went into the staff room, and they all treated me like staff anyways, because I was pretty much there every day. And I got to make some beautiful friendships with some of the staff. And I said, I'm just going to leave this book and these runes on the table. So when you guys come in at lunchtime or you're on your break, take some personal time and just read a message. I don't need to know what they are or whatever, because for some people, this can be very personal, but they're very healing. And so I never knew who read the book or who, did anything. There was one teacher that said to me, okay, I'm going to do it publicly. And he was blown away by the message by it. He said, that's my life. That is an amazing message for me. And he was a man. So I was really proud of him for being that courageous. But there was another lady who, her mother worked there as well. But the daughter had actually read a message on her lunch break. And I didn't know she had done it. So a couple of days later, she saw me in the hallway and she's pulling me aside. She's like, I have to talk to you. And I didn't really know her. And I said, why? And she says, about those runes that you left in the lunchroom the other day. She goes, I need to talk to you. I got to tell you something. And I said, oh, okay. So we kind of went off to a private area, and I said, what's going on? I didn't know what she was going to tell me. And she goes, I have to tell you something. She goes, when I was young, she goes, I had something happen to me. And she goes, it left a huge scar. And she said, I've had this scar my whole life since. And she goes, it's an ugly scar. And she goes, when I read the message from this book, she goes, it had to do with that scar. And so she goes, I went home. And she goes, I literally reviewed in my mind that message from that book. And she goes, it was so profound. She goes, I felt like I was a different person. And she goes, I woke up the next morning and I'm telling you, the scar was gone. The physical scar was removed from her body. Okay. This is the power of doing emotional work. And this is why I stress that it is a part of you that you need to connect with on a regular basis and to honor it and to be able to move through things that are negative. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because obviously she had a wound and she had a scar and she was able to heal it. But today I'm really focusing on what are some of the wounds? What are some of the things that are still showing up in your business that you need to address and maybe you need to say no to or decide you're ready to get out of or to make changes or to seek advice from someone who can support you. Okay, you got to find how it is you're going to do it. But again, it really is about you. And this is the power of doing this type of spiritual work. Okay, so let's get 2 cards from Spirit and ask them, if this is happening in your life, what is advice that Spirit can give you? And the 2 cards I just drew just before we started was the first card showing up as a challenge is called Truth Be Told. Now, isn't that an interesting card? I mean, I just can't believe the cards that show up every week. So this is the challenge. What is the truth within you? All right. And we're going to come back to this. And the action step that came up for us is the tribe. Okay, so we're going to get back to this one. I want to go back to our first card and just look at this card on its own. So, if this is, the truth being told, this to me in the upright position is that, the truth is told. You've said what you needed to say or you needed to recognize within yourself. What do you need to recognize about you in this situation? But the card came up upside down. So if you look at the card, it's like literally this golden message, this message of Spirit, of divine love, something within you, something needs to come through you. So the card is basically saying, what is it in your life or in your business that you literally need to acknowledge right now? And say to yourself, I need to work on this. I need to address this in order for me to gain the freedom that I truly want, because it's about emotional freedom. It's not about creating massive action and deciding you're going to change the world and whatever. It's really right now all about you. So what is your truth? What is something perhaps you're seeing in your maybe your company, your business, maybe some of the people you're around that you don't agree with, maybe you don't believe in, maybe is there something you need to say no to and set some boundaries for yourself and clean things up so that you can let go of this existence that no longer serves you? All right. These are just some questions that I'm going to ask you guys, because every single time we're in retrograde or we're in a new season, just like we're right now, like we're getting like a double whammy right now. Okay. So what is it? And answer it yourself. Okay. And know that when you take action, because the second card that came up is the tribe. So when you take action and you say no to something, do you know what happens? The new always comes in. New people, new circumstances, new opportunities, new ways of working with people, new businesses. People will approach you because they see something within you that is about courage. And it's also about just being truthful to yourself. And the world needs more leadership and more courage in people right now than ever before. And it doesn't start with telling other people what to do. It starts with you. It's always you, because you will vibrate and emanate and attract what you are. And this is the power that so many people need to recognize. I'm getting some hearts. The power that we need to recognize within ourselves is that it's not about fixing other people. It's not about telling other people what to do and how to live their life. It's about you making the decisions for you and you showing up the way you want to be in the world, and you will manifest opportunities. You will manifest new people into your life who will respect you for who you are. Okay, so this is a very powerful reading. And again, allow those wounds to just become scars. All right. And a scar is something that makes you beautiful. It shows that you've been to battle. It shows you've stood up for yourselves. It shows you've been that warrior in your life. All right. These are leadership qualities. This is what the world wants to see. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you to have a real conversation with yourself and see what it is that you need to release and let go of so that you can embrace the beautiful energy that's on this planet right now and what retrograde has been stirring up for you so that you can finally say goodbye, kiss it goodbye, kiss with the situations goodbye, and move on and move forward in your life, okay? So there's 3 essential oils that I would definitely recommend. Again, high-grade essential oils in here, CPTG grade. If you're not currently using a company, please connect with me on a private message. I will certainly guide you. I am anal. I'm going to say the word because you know what? I don't believe in buying crap. And I don't believe in running out and buying the cheapest thing you can buy and expecting to get the best results because you will not get the emotional benefits of using a cheap essential oil. So there's 3 that I'm going to recommend. You can put them in a roller ball. You can add them in your diffuser because they are not just smelly things, okay? They are very powerful that can help you on an emotional level to do some of the things to give you that courage and do what you need to do, okay? I'm going to recommend 3 really powerful essential oils for you guys this week. The first one is lemongrass. And lemongrass is like super cleansing. So when you let go of something, you're going to get clarity in your mind of what you really want. So if you just need to focus on right now what you don't want, that's okay, because when you let go of some of that muddiness and crap, you get a vision of, what could I possibly have? What if something you want is something you've never had before? You deserve that. All right. And you have to own that within yourself. So using that is going to help you to see. Eucalyptus is super powerful as well. It helps people from feeling imprisoned to feeling liberated. That's where the freedom comes, when you literally stand up for yourself. And it's hard when you feel trapped. It's hard when you feel like you don't know the answer. But sometimes if you change your thinking about it, and your emotional body around it, you gain the answers from spirit. You get the messages in your dreams. You get them in your meditations. You get them when you're out in nature going for a walk. And that's one of the reasons why I spend so much time by myself and in nature, so that I could hear myself and I don't listen to other people's stuff, because it's about them. Only you know what is best for you. Okay. The last one I would recommend is Melaleuca. And Melaleuca is also called tea tree. It's about giving people healthy boundaries. And if you have a hard time saying no to something, even when you know intuitively it's wrong, Melaleuca is going to give you the boundaries, and it's going to help you and enhance your solar plexus, or really build your power, all right, and give you that emotional courage that you need to do. So combining these 3 oils together is literally going to give you that fuel that you need to really embrace that life that you are asking for, and I know that you currently want. Okay, so again, if you have any questions or even any comments, please message me. I'm going to stop for a minute and see if there's any messages on here right now. And send me a private message. I don't expect people to put comments on here on my wall. I still am offering free membership to Tamarin's Place up until July the 10th. And what that membership is, a private Facebook group, or every Monday to Friday, I'm in there until the end of the school season, so only till early June. We start up again in September. But I work with entrepreneurs, and we do tarot readings for the week. We do journal entries. We talk about what's coming up for each other. I give you guys advice. It's an opportunity for you to give advice to other people as well. There is no selling in the group. All right. It's about supporting you with other like-minded people so that you are in a safe community and you are getting the support that you need to move through these challenges that are happening right now. Okay. There's teaching every Thursdays. Wednesdays is free coaching. And on Fridays, it's just fun stuff. We interview people. Sometimes I'm meeting people if I'm live or I'm near them or whatever. And I do some storytelling. So again, it's just all spiritual techniques, and it's very laid back. So you get me sometimes right out of the shower, sometimes you get me right out of a meditation, or I'm having an aha moment and I want to share with the group, okay? So it's very laid back. It's regularly priced $36 a month, but it's free right now until July the 10th, okay? The second thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is to go to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet, and please subscribe to Tamron's Place. And the reason why is because each week I upload these videos on here, and it's easier for you to share them with other people. Sometimes I do extra videos. We're going to be doing live group meditations and the full moon and the new moon, and they're going to be live on YouTube. So again, you can share them. There's going to be lots of great free information for you guys to use some of these holistic and spiritual practices to help you move through your business. Okay, so that's another thing. And I got 4 things I want to share with you guys. So my next Elixir of Life 28-day personal transformation program is starting on Tuesday, April the 17th. And what that program is for, it's for anybody whose businesses keeps going up and down or wonking, or you've suffered from betrayal, or you've got something that you need some support with. I run this every spring and fall. So we are currently in the first month. The next group starts on April the 17th. There's only a maximum of 12 participants. Again, it's another private Facebook group, but it runs for 28 days solid. And there's 4 group calls within the group. Each week on a Tuesday, a Monday or Tuesday, we decide what night it is, and we review the content. And these are very introspective questions you can answer in the group, or you can answer in person and keep them yourself. But each week I answer your questions. I share my personal stories. These are very intimate stories about my own growth and what I learned about me. They are not victim stories. They are a way for you to start looking at the situations in your life a little bit differently, so that you can say thank you to the people that have hurt you, to the people that have done whatever. You need to transform that into saying, thank you for being a soulmate. Thank you for being someone in my life who allowed me to see what I needed to see about myself. All right, that's what the transformation is. If you are not in that emotional state in your life right now with something, I'm going to encourage you to take that program. As a member of Tamron's Place, you get everything for 50% off. So it's regularly 96 bucks Canadian. You're going to get that for 48 bucks. All right. It's the sweetest deal ever. $48 for 28 days of coaching. Doesn't get any better than that. But the reason why I do it is because it's the lowest of the sliding scale that I offer people. So if you can't afford one-on-one coaching with me, if you can't afford a half day with me, this is where you want to join me, okay? And the last thing is I'm going to be speaking live on Friday, April the 27th in Southern Ontario in Dundas. So I'm launching my speaking career. The tickets for the event are $48 plus HST, but here's the thing. I don't get that money. I am actually hosting it as a fundraiser to the Owl Foundation. It is a nonprofit organization that houses owls that have been injured, and some of them have to stay there. They adopt them. Some of them go back out into the wild. But $30 from that ticket goes to the Owl Foundation, $12 goes to the venue, and the rest is just banking fees for buying a ticket. So it's an opportunity for you to come and hang out with me. You can meet me. I'm going to have some prizes, some giveaways for you guys showing up, and all kinds of great stuff. And it's an opportunity for you to connect with other local people and other entrepreneurs who are just like you. All right. So I'll be reaching out privately. I'm not going to put a lot of information on my public wall, but I'll be sending messages out and even calling some people to see if you want to come out and hang out with me. All right. It's going to be a great night from 7:30 till 10 p.m. Again, that's Friday, April 27th. So thanks again for listening. I realized I forgot to share my teacup with you guys today, and it's not my usual teacup. This is actually a handmade, beautiful ceramic teacup made by a lady in Belfast, Ontario, where I used to have my business. But I'm not drinking tea today. I'm actually drinking I'm doing a cleanse, the master cleanse. So I've got lemon in here, I've got some cayenne, I've got some maple syrup and some warm water, and I'm actually on day 5 of my 10-day master cleanse. So feeling pretty emotional myself, but feeling good, getting some energy. Really needed a heavy-duty cleanse to do before I launch my business. So I just felt like I needed that purging and to do something for myself this spring. So again, my name is Tamara. I hope you join me live again next Tuesday here at 222. I'm going to check the questions again. And I consider myself an inspirational storytelling business mentor. I'm here every Tuesday. So we got some people. Okay, not too many questions. Oh, Erica, love seeing you live. Thank you, Erica, if you are still on the call here with me. Thank you for sending the message, and I hope all is well with you. I know Erica, she's definitely someone who practices a lot of the same techniques that I do here, and yeah, she's had some great changes in her life as well. So thanks, everyone. I'll see you again on Tuesday. Cheers for now.